ever had so much money in your pocket and you had a surplus of money, and this might have been before you started thinking about how to be smart with your money, and it just burned a hole in your pocket? You just had to spend it. It didn't matter if you spent it on something that made sense, something that was an asset and would appreciate and kick off income, or if it was just something utterly stupid, okay? You just had to spend it. This is where our government is today. They have that same attitude. So let me take a sip of this ice cold in 29-degree weather caramel ice latte. Start talking about some of the frivolous things that your government, the United States of America, spends your money on. First up, I didn't even see this one when I looked at this list. Putting fish on treadmills. In 2017, Senator Jeff Flake of Arizona released a list of the most outlandish tax splurges he could find. One involved the Scripps Institution of Oceanography in San Diego, which used a $560,000 grant from the National Science Foundation to force fish to exercise to exhaustion on treadmills as part of a 2009 study. The scientists chose mud skippers because of their unique ability to use their fins like legs for extended periods of time when out of the water. The exhausted fish were then given 48 hours to rest before hitting the gym again. Different oxygen levels were used as variables to test their progress and recovery. To what end? Why? Okay, $560,000 of you, that was your money, went to trying to figure that out. Here's one that'll knock your socks off. Proving that gingerbread houses are earthquake proof. A $150,000 grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences funded a workshop called How Does the Cookie Crumble? The Oregon Museum of Science and Industry took gingerbread houses designed to be earthquake resistant and put them to the test on machines that replicated major timblers. Participants got to take their sweet, sugary houses with them. The workshop was part of the OMSI's annual Gingerbread Adventures event. You paid for that stupidity. Just going to go over a couple more here. I think you're starting to get the point. You need to really reduce your level of taxation and your exposure to taxes because you're paying for utter nonsense. NASA research on how religious groups would respond to aliens. Your tax dollars help NASA examine how the world's religions might react when we make contact with extraterrestrial life forms. The Center of Theological Inquiry used a $1.1 million grant from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA's Astrobiology Institute, in 2016 to study potential reactions by religious leaders and populations to the hypothetical future discovery of life beyond Earth, and how it could influence their beliefs about origins and the meaning of life. 1.1 million for that. Let's see if we can find another one that is just totally outlandish. Proving that fear of pain is why you're afraid of. They spent $3.5 million to figure this out. So what you need to really start doing is thinking about that old 401k that you have. Remember, the same government that is spending on this garbage, they are the ones that came up with the 401k. And that 401k is designed to defer your taxation into the future when taxes will be higher. There is a provision in the most recent Tax Reform Act that takes most of the tax rates and increases them automatically by 3 to 4%. And this happens in 2026. Unless some legislation is enacted that prevents it, this is going to occur. It's scheduled to automatically occur. So you are going to see a 3 to 4% decrease in your money in your income come 2026 automatically, thanks to this tax law. So your taxes are going to go up in the future because we've got over $30 trillion in debt, and we're spending like drunken. I'm not even going to insult drunken sailors like that. Because when a drunken sailor runs out of money, he can't spend anymore. But here we are. We've got a debt to GDP ratio, which simply means our debt to the amount of money we've got coming in. We're at 130%. Now, if you personally were at 130% GDP, you would have a tow truck coming down your driveway looking for your car in order to repossess it. You'd have the sheriff out there wanting to slap a foreclosure notice on your front door. Okay, so we can't do these things. This government is broke, doesn't know it, and continues to spend like there is no tomorrow. You need to mitigate your taxes, and one way you can do that is with a cash value, properly structured, permanent life insurance policy. That has 3 distinct protections in it, 3 distinct rules from the IRS that allow you to accumulate, access, and distribute money tax-free. So if you want to talk about that, we're always here, and we'd love to do that with you. Talk to you soon.